Hey y'all, bear with me here. I'm trying to convert to overhead camera video recording. Not yeah. So this is the study we've been working on. I think I'm going to mix up some green and finish up this guy over here. This study. When I say green, I'm just going to be mixing trying to make some strong peacock blue and a little bit of the azo yellow. So let's see if this works. So again, thinking before I start where I'm painting, making sure I know where I'm going to paint and where I'm not going to paint. So I hope that works. This is weird. This other one, I'm going to try to show you guys something that I haven't really shown you. But there is a way, if you are quick and agile and ready, to change the color without starting with water here. But it involves laying down some darker color, quickly rinsing out your brush, and then I don't know that I need to do it upside down necessarily, but and then coming back in and bringing in some clear water. So observe. So I'm going to put in some dark color here, and this is where I need to be careful because it can, all those lines will, edges can stain if I'm not sort of quick about it. So let's see here. Get that paint out. Some water. Now that there's going to be more paint in here. This is a technique that is it's definitely good to have, so you don't just have to worry about a giant shape every time you want to adjust something within that shape. But it is a little bit trickier. I'm just going to bring in some, this thing is not getting green and dark enough. Let's see what happens when I get my smaller brush out. First I'm going to soak up some of that. But I want to dab in a little bit of more yellowy green to make that more of an even transition. I am getting my smaller brush so that I'm introducing paint, but not too much water. It's easy to get into this kind of thing. It's easy to get into sort of a fussing too much. Some clear water, because this stuff wasn't moving quite like I wanted it to. I feel like it's if you really do try to think of it as coaxing instead of painting, I'm sort of trying to flick the paint around on the surface instead of painting it, shoving it into the material, pressing it. That's a different technique. This is just various mixes of the peacock blue and the azo yellow. So let's go with that, because I've been fussing with it plenty long, and that seems decent. I am going to pause there, and then come back and try some of that on the tree. Am I going to pause? Oh heck, I'm here. Let's see. There's a decent little space for some yellow, maybe over there. So I'm going to keep coming in with a little bit of stronger yellow, bouncing around a little bit. Start mixing in a little bit of green to that yellow. And it can take a little while and some fussing to kind of, before you really start feeling like you're turning the form in space. It's going to take a good variety of values and study trees and see how it's kind of clumps of, I like to think of them as clumps of various kind of spherical shapes. So that still needs some transition-y. Getting there. Switch over to my small brush. So I'm also going to start maybe lifting some away to really try to get a bit of a rounded feel. In a variety of areas. Starting to get there. Didn't want that paint in there. back with some yellow. I wanted to lighten that up. Probably do a little bit of scrubbing out too. That can be handy to try to create some spherical feel, of more spheres sort of within that tree. But that's the idea. And then underneath that's going to be some darker color shadow. This is all obviously very impressionistic and not that realistic per se, but I kind of like it. As long as I'm using a nice light touch, it will stay okay. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to squint a little bit at it and see. Getting there. Let me dry that. Let it dry. I'm not letting it dry, am I? I'm needing to put, not needing, I'm wanting to just put some kind of color here. And then I'll come back and, okay, let's pretend there's some branches up there. This time, really. Okay. Hope that worked.